part of what we do. So if we look at fiscal year 30, again, it says expenditures at 49,626,828, with revenue at 44,357,577, which puts us at a deficit of about 7 million, but with a balance, a cash balance at the end of fiscal year 30, a cash balance actually at 9.2 million. But we know already that we're going to be better than that because of what we're doing with scenario 5, because we're looking at all of those areas, because we know we won't have all of the renovations and things that we're doing now. We know that those costs are constantly coming down.
So my question again with 2030, since we only going 4 years, what would be the impact? The fiscal to report.
What you'll see a difference in fiscal year 27.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where it will start. And then as you progress, you'll see that number change.
You answered.
Because what you'll see is if your salaries may go down, your benefits may not because of healthcare.
All right.
That's a big issue right now.
Mhm.
So your benefits may not, but things like purchase services and things of that nature can be going down.
Okay.
If you'll look right now, things that are happening in, I think it was Pennsylvania, where they've got a 100-day freeze on everything because of what's happening at the federal level, because the money is not coming in for those grants and things like that, that they put a freeze on all spending to make sure that they can make salaries and benefits. Those are the kinds of discussions that we will start having internally here. We will start having those discussions. Just to make sure. Right now, we're looking at 21 million, but if some of that money that's coming in from state and federal grants, if that money doesn't come in, and we've already spent that money out of GF because it's a reimbursement, those are reimbursement grants, we could be kind of stuck. So
Okay.
we're being very cautious.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So right now, this forecast has to be approved by the board. It has to be uploaded and submitted by Wednesday. So this one is the quick turnaround, understanding that any changes they're actually closing that portal at the close of business on the 15th. So if you don't get it submitted by the 15th, you will not be able to submit it. That we don't want. So I'm asking the board to approve this forecast so that I can get it submitted tomorrow through our A site, through Connect.
Any additional questions?
They talked about this, we went to a workshop last week, or week before last, and this was mentioned, not as detailed as yours, but yeah, we saw this coming.
No additional questions? Okay, call for the vote.
Online voting is open.
I'm not getting it. I got it.
All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you.
Last resolution, Resolution C, is a resolution to authorize tuition agreement and support services. Madam President, I move that we accept this resolution.
I second.
It's been properly moved and second that we accept the resolution authorizing tuition agreement and support services. Here again, that's for special ed.
We have a couple of students who require MRDD services, and that's what this resolution is about.
MRTD. Are there any additional questions? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Online voting is open. I'm sorry, all votes are in, motion passes.
Madam President, that concludes report of the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson, we appreciate that. We are now over to Welfare and Public Relations.
Hi, I'm Mary Sanders, Chair for Welfare and Public Relations, and Co-Chair is Stephanie Stubmeyer Walls. Madam President, I motion for you to adopt and amend board policies that were revised through Peppo and Wagner. We have 9 policies, 6.06, inter-district open enrollment, clean. 6.09, student absences and excuses. 6.10, habitual truancy intervention strategies. 6.20, student discipline, clean. 9.08, Title IX grievance procedure. 9.10, complaints of sexual harassment. 9.10, complaints of sex discrimination and sex-based harassment. These were adopted under welfare and public relations policies.
Would you repeat that last number for me, please?
9.10.
9.10.
Complaints of sex discrimination and sex-based harassment.
Thank you.
Madam President, I ask that you approve these.
I second.
It's been properly moved and second that we approve this resolution to accept these revised policies and procedures. Are there any questions on any of the policies and procedures as have been read? Hearing no questions,
Online voting is open.
call for the vote.
All votes are in, motion passes.
Motion passes, thank you. We're gonna skip over the executive section, we'll do that at the end, and we will go to the recommendations of the superintendent.
Okay, thank you, Madam President, board members. The first recommendation I'm asking for is the appointments. A motion to approve these appointments that you have here, appointments in certificated, classified, looks like return to work and unpaid leave are all in the same recommendation. Madam President, I'm asking for a motion to approve these appointments.
Madam President, I make a motion that we accept Resolution A, appointments per Dr. Pettigrew.
I second.
It's been properly moved and second by Ms. Sanders that we approve the appointments and for certified, that's in section A. I have, what are we rescinding Joshua Hollins here?
We can't talk about.
Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to mention the name, but we're, the one we're rescinding.
No, we can discuss it in executive session.
Okay, great.
You did call for the vote, correct? All votes are in.
Okay.
Madam President, my second recommendation here is B, professional leave. There's a number of professional leaves that we're asking for approval of. So I am asking the board for recommended action to approve the motion for these professional leaves.
Madam President, I make a motion that we accept Resolution B, professional leave per Dr. Pettigrew.
I second.
It's been properly moved and second that we accept the professional leave as noted in section B of the superintendent's recommendations. Questions or comments, anyone? Call for the vote.
Online voting is open. All votes are in, motion passes.
And my final recommendation is C, termination. There's one here, a motion to approve termination, one individual for the board's motion and approval.
Madam President, I make a motion that we accept resolution C, termination per Dr. Pettigrew.
See.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm looking at this, see, we didn't do that, we did A and B. Okay. Now, I see.
Oh,
Got it. Okay, it's been properly moved and second that we accept the C termination.
I'm
Any
sorry.
questions?
Yes, who moved in second, please?
Well,
No, she said.
I
moved
moved it.
second.
Amir
Yes,
Parikh.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Online voting is open. All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you. Is there anything else you would like to share, Superintendent?
Not at this point.
Okay. We're-
Well, I guess I could. I'll clear my plate.
Okay, please feel
Um,
free.
The first thing I want to talk to you, on the 15th, we are scheduled to submit data for academic distress to show that we have met the requirements to get out of academic distress. So this is a draft of a very similar document we give every year. This is just the revitalization realized. And we'll be submitting this as well as the discrete data to the state by Wednesday, and then they'll be giving us a decision by the week of December 1st. So I just wanted to make you aware of this is the information that will be 16 out of 20, we hit 80%, let us out of academic distress. We got 3 on the report card. I've also given you, if I could borrow yours, I've given you a couple copies of this document. This is a profile. We have more of these. I would like, if we're gonna send them out to McGregor Home and Owl's Nest and the library and everywhere we can go. If we can get those in the hands of homeowners associations, if we can get those in the hands of real estate agents, this needs to sit on the counter when people are going into the house to buy a house in East Cleveland, to let them know, because that's what they do in other districts. They put that report card on the counter. So this is our version to try to help that industry get some folks that are looking at East Cleveland homes. Maybe this would be something that'll help them decide they want to come here, because here is where we are growing students more than anybody else in the state of Ohio, and we've been doing that now for the last 3 years. So I wanted to give you this information as information that will be going to the state. I also want to give you a copy of OASB, OSBSE. I am the Superintendent Commission Chair. We had an event last week that we had a speaker come talk about superintendent board relationships. I'm giving you this just as a resource. This is what was discussed with only superintendents, no board members were there, but I thought it would just be a good piece of information for you to see what conversations we were having. And this is another, we have Deborah Keys Wright, this is another company that also does board work. If you're interested, I wanted to make sure I get those in the hands of the board members. So you can see, number one, what was discussed. I don't know, Connie, how many people were there? About 30 people, maybe 20, 30 people?
Yeah.
From all over the state. talking about how superintendents can do a better job working with boards. So some of the recommendations I had, we'll be talking about over the next couple of months.
That's Ohio Alliance of Black School
Yes.
Educators.
Yep,
Mhm.
Ohio.
Tandy was there.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I've been elected as the chair of this commission. So 2 times a year, we put an event on to bring people all over the state in to talk about a pressing issue. This one was superintendent board relationships.
Where was this held?
This was in Columbus. Last month, the board approved for the professional development to go to Columbus for the season.
Yeah.
But those are my comments, Dr. Rice, for this evening.
You know, it seems so seldom that we have a chance to applaud, so let's applaud as a district. And when I came in and seen this, I said, I ask these all the time.
I
The
know you
information.
do.
So I am so pleased with the district and the 3 stars
Yeah.
and all of that, so yes.
And I-
Sometimes it's just good to pour an applause, okay?
Absolutely. And 3 is a launch pad. It's not an ending location. We're gonna keep going, but we've now at least cleared the daylight and statewide, people are now recognizing what East Cleveland truly is doing. I was looking at a Facebook post from one of our parents talking about how our district moved her child more than any other district she had been in. She had to move out because of personal reasons, but she co-signed to the fact that this district, she said, I don't know what they do, but my baby was there. And when she was done, she was reading. So that's a testament to our staff, our teachers. Please believe that the folks in East Cleveland, the educators, they work hard when it comes to educating students, regardless of where they come in at. We're gonna get them where they need to be. So I just wanted, again, a round of applause. That's to our educators in this district. They are
Definitely,
phenomenal.
and the teachers are phenomenal. We have some of the best teachers in the state
Yeah.
right here in
Yeah.
East Cleveland, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
That's all I got for you.
Well, thank you, well, we should have had you last, cause that,
I know.
you know, that puts you up high, you wanna leave out on a high. But anyway, discussion items. We are now down to board professional development budget.
So, I'm going to pass this around for the board. The board had indicated they wanted to. To OSBA. I do not, but I will share with you. I am so sorry. I depended on someone else to make my copies that I don't have enough,
There you
so.
go, here,
I don't
use
need
this
my
one to
copy.
talk.
So,
Mhm.
as we know, under, Ohio law, this board, is allotted $20,000 per year because you are a 5-member board. This board, based on this board's policy, you determined years ago that you were splitting that up, $4,000 for each member for their professional development. So that's exactly the criteria under which this is I am presenting this to you. Right now, we have, first of all, OSBA. There are members that want to attend OSBA, and they are, if I could get the names again, please. OSBA. Thank you, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, the people who are
OSBA is
attending,
November.
Wants
yes,
to go,
yeah,
yeah.
Yes.
definitely.
OSBA is November 16th
Mhm.
through the 18th.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's Mr. Robinson. I saw Dr.
Mary
Rice,
Sanders.
Mhm.
Mary Sanders.
No.
Okay, so there are 3 board members
Mhm.
that would like to attend. If we would look, like next to those names, you can see for each person the balances that each person has because of professional development that they've already taken this year and what the estimated cost, and we did review the cost. So this is about the approximate cost of what OSBA will be because we have those additional funds that the other board members have not used. I am asking, those two board members, if we can, provide that deficit to the other board members by using, some of your funds.
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all it is.
Okay.
So, we will have the three board members and we'll be getting back to you regarding, that's the way that this board told me to do it, so I have to do it this way. So, we will be getting back to you, regarding, OSBA, your hotel, your reservations and all of that.
Sure.
We'll be getting back to you about that. Okay? What you have left. Here you are.
This is the balances.
This is what your balance would have been. And those are in the red. Those people didn't have any money, the black had money, it was black. Okay? Any questions about the spreadsheet?
No, I will, talk with you later.
I'll answer any questions.
I know
fine.
that. Okay, I have a couple
Okay.
questions I wanna ask, but I'll ask them later.
Okay.
Thank you.
This estimated cost is what it costs to go to.
For
I wanna
OSB,
know.
that's the hotel, the registration, the Black Caucus dinner,
For-
the luncheon that next day, and then your mileage and meals that you turn in for reimbursement.
So
In parking.
I have 389. Is that a credit or what is that?
If
Parentheses.
you are negative,
Negative, okay.
you are negative, but the other two are already covering that with their funds.
Yes,
So
I
everyone is
understand.
covered.
I just wanna know how to read it in future reference.
Okay, okay. Red means negative, you don't have those funds,
Okay,
okay?
I'm in the hole.
So, yeah, so what happens is for what some districts do, this district chose not to do it that way. What some districts do, if the board, allotment is the 20,000 per year, the board determines the things that if each of them go to without having that $4,000 free. This board chose that prior to my coming here, this is what was in place. So what I've continued to do is what was in place. If this board chooses to change that, that's up to this board. But all I am doing, well, the board has, that's a board
It's a
discussion,
board
We
discussion.
can discuss
That's
it
a
during
board
our work
discussion.
session.
right?
Mhm.
All I'm doing is
Yes.
is going by the rules that the board has set down for me as the caretaker of the funds.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that? This is not, this is just a discussion item, so there's nothing else that's needed. We'll, move on for you have additional comments?
Well, I listed all of the things under discussion.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm getting ready to go to
Uh-huh.
the next one now.
Yes,
You finished with this one?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so A has been, let's move on to B. Steve Farnsworth, Evaluation Services. Comments, questions?
I did
Anyone?
send the contract to each of the board members so that you could review that for this discussion. I sent it by email to all of the board members.
You probably did, I'm so busy looking at the minutes and all the attachments, I never looked at, Farnsworth's contract, but it hasn't changed, did it?
It did not.
So if it didn't change,
I did send it on
I'm familiar with that.
September 20th. I did send it.
Uh-huh, like I said, I didn't have a chance to look at that.
Okay.
Anyone, comments, questions, thoughts? Okay, we can discuss it more at the work session. Okay, if there are no more comments on the Steve Farnsworth Evaluation Services, let's look at C.
What, is there a decision or?
We're not, this is just discussion here, you don't have it as a resolution or anything.
I know, but it can be as a resolution on the 24th, if that's why I gave it to the board now, and the board can, and I sent the email from Mr. Farnsworth, and so if the board wants to contract with him again for this year or not, so.
What's your pleasure,
Doesn't
board?
that, shouldn't it be a resolution?
I didn't do it on a resolution because you had not seen it before and you might want to take this platform to discuss it first.
So what you're saying, is we'll do the resolution for the work session? Since
Okay.
Okay, what does Steve Farnsworth do for board members that may not be familiar with his work?
He is a facilitator for the evaluations of the superintendent and the treasurer. That is his job. That's what he did for us for last fiscal year. And his contract is as stated here, and he is willing to come back and do that work again with this board for, and again, this year, as the board knows, we should have already submitted our goals and all of that already,
Yes,
which we have not done.
right.
He had to come in last year and get us moving along to get
I've
this.
asked for them, it's just that I've been busy with a lot of other things.
No, it's this conversation. Because we gotta determine, are you gonna use Steve Farnsworth?
Yeah,
Because the alternative is what? If they don't go with Steve Farnsworth, then what
if they
happens?
do not, then there has to be a board member that is leading that discussion and the things that he did as a facilitator, that board member would have to do.
Complete the evaluation.
To
fill
complete
them
the
out.
evaluation, to have the consensus, whether it's whatever that consensus is, and the board accept that from that board member, that's what they heard and that's the consensus. That's why it's,
Detail.
Because he does the state recommended system, but there are many different avenues that you can go for evaluation.
No,
Well, there are
That is the state
That's
system. Yeah, that's the system.
yes,
The Ohio Superintendent Evaluation System.
and the Ohio
and
Treasurer's evaluation system, those are the
Those are-
systems you have to use to evaluate.
So he takes your information and makes it work for that system.
Okay. Any additional questions? No additional questions regarding Steve Farnsworth? So we'll have a resolution at the next meeting, is that what you're saying?
If that's what you're asking me to do, yes.
Any other suggestions?
I would say yes.
You
A
got one?
resolution for that, yes.
Any others?
Well, she says we don't
Yes.
have to do a resolution. We
Yes.
just
Well,
vote.
yes.
Okay, so we will have a
You got
resolution.
consensus.
There is a consensus for the resolution to be on the board agenda on the 24th. So
Okay.
it will be there.
Next is C, repayment of student wellness and success fund.
So we had a project, it was the Caledonia project for the playground.
The
And
one that is groundbreaking on Wednesday.
Oh, did you? Great.
It's groundbreaking this Wednesday,
Oh, it's coming. Oh, wonderful.
October 15th.
However, and that's a wonderful thing, however, it's too late for the student wellness funds. When we first started with with this project, actually it was in 2023.
Right.
And it was with.
Can I ask you to stop just for a second?
Sure.
We went to something for Caledonia when they were doing something about the playground.
It's the same thing.
So, this is just.
That was the
continue-
groundbreaking.
Now I got you,
Now
okay.
this is the ribbon cut.
Got you, all right, now I got you, okay.
So remember they came in from California and they
Uh-huh.
gave this whole big
Sure.
presentation.
We're the first in Ohio.
Right, all of that happened, okay? So then it started with the legal pieces of it, okay? So, what percentage they were gonna pay, the percentage that we were going to pay, how much, of their expenditures would be counted against their escrow account, how much would be in our escrow account. All of those things had to happen before the groundbreaking occurred.
Okay.
Once the groundbreaking occurred and the project got underway, the state then said that any funds from fiscal year 21, 22, 23, and 24 that were not spent by June 30th of 25 would have to be returned to the state.
Oh, my goodness.
This was one of those projects that we were using student wellness funds. And unfortunately, here's the email that I received September 17th, that the Department of Education and Workforce has been in communication with your district, and that we acknowledge that the remaining fiscal year 20 through 2024, for us, it was only fiscal year 2024, because we had spent fiscal year 20, 21, 22, and 23. This was the only project left for 2024 that was happening in 25. That we would have to return to the state $221,235.01, which has to be returned to the department.
Alrighty.
Can you answer the question, why couldn't we use that money?
Yeah.
I hear the questions.
Yeah, believe me.
Because we could not pay when the project was
Was
not
not completed.
Right,
completed. And the ribbon breaking
it's not
is
till this Wednesday.
this Wednesday. We could not pay for the project before the project was completed with student wellness funds. And we knew this, and I have emails from saying, when are you all gonna complete? We've got money on this that we have to have this completed. There were so many delays from the beginning.
Right.
With attorneys getting the contract in order, making sure that we had everything done correctly. And then when the projects took off, then it's them getting, because they were delayed with getting some of the things that they needed. There were delays in getting that. They were meeting on a weekly basis. The project team was meeting, but if you don't have the tools or the whatever it is they need to work with, they couldn't get it completed.
So whose fault was that? Why is it we can't put some of this on them?
Well, but some of it is, if you realize over the last couple of years, what's been happening in this country in terms of trying to get materials, parts, things, tariffs, there's just a lot trying to pull these, it caused this project to take longer than anticipated. And now the project took longer than the funds were available. So then you ran into this issue where we thought this was gonna be done a year ago or 2 years ago, but because of the way it had to be done, and realizing we were only putting up half the money. So they paid half of it, right? They paid half of this project, was grants and folks that they came in. But that entire process, we went with the legal, it was 6 months.
Yeah.
Just going back and forth with legal to make sure that this district was insulated and it was a proper contract.
Right.
We really went back and forth, and all of that just delayed. It went longer than what this monies, which we earmarked 2 or 3 years ago, those monies ran out. They expired while this project was nearing completion. Would that be an accurate assessment?
Right, and actually, I did go back to them and I appealed to the state,
You did.
telling them exactly what had happened and that the project would be completed by the end of October.
Right.
But they said you cannot pay for that project with these funds if the project is not completed.
Right.
And we are audited every year. They see when invoice, well, I'm not gonna do that anyway. So, these were the funds. They did allow me to go back. They said, were there any other expenditures that you had that could apply to these funds that should have been applied to the student wellness? But unfortunately for us, based on the guidance of student wellness, the only other funds were the ESSER.
Right.
And we used all of the ESSER. We used every dime of the ESSER. There was nothing else that we could do. We looked to try to find something
So
that
this
we
is
could.
general fund money that
It's
have.
not, it is student wellness funds.
Okay,
Those were restricted funds that could only be spent for that guidance under student wellness.
But GF is picking up now.
GF will have to,
That was your
if that's the question. If the last part of it that's left is not 221, it's like 148 that's left to be paid.
148,000.
That's left to be paid. I have emails, asking them when is your next meeting? Can we get this project completed? Can I get your invoices? We have done everything that we could do to get this project pushed along, but you can only do so much. Then there's no more you can do, so.
So what does the actual money need to be returned?
That's the money right there.
Or the 200?
The 200,
221,000.
And then we still owe 140 something?
yes, we do.
So the 200 has not been touched?
No.
That's
We didn't
city.
use it, no.
No,
Oh,
we
okay.
couldn't, we had to
I
return it.
understand that now. So
Right,
we're
right,
just
we had
paying-
to
We tried.
return it. Yeah, we did our best to try to use
But I'm
it,
saying
but
all
we
we're
could
doing
not.
is returning that money.
We are returning that money to
But
the
then
state.
we're paying the balance of the.
Once I
140?
receive the final
There you go.
invoice,
I understand
once I
that.
receive the final invoice from them, we will have to pay that out of general fund.
All right, 'cause I'm thinking the 200 plus the 140, that's 200.
The 200 was restricted funds,
All right,
student wellness only. They were
Mhm.
restricted funds from the state. We had that for 2 years. Yeah, 23, we had it for 2 years, waiting for the project,
oh, okay.
so. So I just wanted the board to be aware.
Is that an item that will be on the next board agenda?
No, it does not have to be on the agenda, it does not have to be voted on. The money just has to be returned, and I wanted to make the board aware that those funds had to be returned.
Okay.
Now, are we gonna vote on a resolution about taking that 140,000 out the general fund?
There
We
will,
need to vote on that.
that wasn't what they were asking me about, they were asking me about this part.
No, I'm
Yes.
asking.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, so the 148, we don't have a choice.
Right.
But to pay for that out of general fund because we're under contract.
And we'll have a resolution.
You will have a
Right.
resolution for that, once that happens, because I don't have that we don't have the final, bill
Actual
from,
amount.
final number.
right. Okay,
And can you add the, contract, the company contract to it as well, the resolution?
the Caledonia project contract,
Yes.
sure, I can put it back out there. That was a $500,000,
To attach it to the resolution, please.
yes.
Thank
Mhm.
Are there any additional questions regarding repayment of the student wellness and success fund? I had no idea what that was, and now I do. I have a better
Well,
idea now.
Well, no one
Okay.
did, until I
I'm sure.
presented it.
Thank you for sharing. Since no additional questions or comments regarding that, let's move on to GAAP, gap agreement.
Okay, the state of Ohio advised me on July 30th that they would no longer be doing our financial audits, and that I had to go out and get a CPA firm to do the financial audits. And understand that's not, it has nothing to do with East Cleveland. It's because of all the people that they're laying off and all that's happening at the state level. They don't have the personnel to
That's
do
true.
the work.
That's true.
Has nothing to do with East Cleveland. So they sent me the letter from the Chief of Local Government Services, Mr. Thompson, and they recommended to me some firms that I could reach out to do that gap audit for us that has to be done before December 31st. I have already done my part in this. I've done my work. And Zupka and Associates, which is a local firm here in Cleveland, will be doing that gap audit for us. And-
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So when the state audits us, we don't pay for that.
Oh,
Yes, we do.
we do.
We pay
Oh,
big time.
none of this is free.
So I
No.
just wanted to make that clear.
And
yeah.
actually, the external audit
Cheap.
is cheaper.
Thank
It is cheaper.
Okay.
So we went out to, I
Any
went
of
out,
those firms minority,
pardon me,
any minority firms?
they are not. So I went out to the firms, I selected Zupka and Associates. And here's the letter from the state, so that you can see what I received. Here's the letter that they sent me. I then did the work that I needed to do, received the contract that I needed to sign, which I did with Zupka and Associates because we started, because this work has to be completed before December 31st. So we have to move. So here's the contract that was signed, with Zupka and Associates. And the schedule of fees are on the last page. So just making the board aware that our gap audit is no longer being done by the state, it is now being done by Zupka and Associates.
Diane, what made you pick this particular company out of the choices you had?
I'll be honest, I experienced, three of them I've worked with before. Did not want to work with those. I then reached out to this company, had meetings with them so that they could just, let me know what they do, how they do that work, what the requirements are of the district. And unfortunately, it's gonna require a lot more work from us because the state does not, that's only the fee schedule, the contract is before that. The state does not turn over their work papers
Right.
to the CPA firms, so we have to start from scratch.
Mhm.
We have to start from scratch again. So, and just know that that $14,000 number that you're looking at, if you'll recall, last year we were at 21 with the state. So,
Were they the cheapest?
Hmm?
Did you get prices from all of them?
I did not, because those, they have to stay within the state guidelines too, with their fee schedule too, so. So I probably right now have about 15 emails from them requesting information, because they've gotta get started, so. Okay?
Feel comfortable with that?
Absolutely.
So is there a reason why the state won't turn it over?
That's just their practice.
Okay.
That's just their practice. It's their work papers, it's the way they did their work. So, it's accounting firm, you do your work the way you do it.
Oh, okay.
You're rather the Grim Reaper down there. You get any
Well,
good news?
Dr.
from us?
Rice said she wanted Dr. Pettigrew to go last.
Well,
He
your
had
next,
the
your
good
next one is a
news.
good news. Give the next one.
I know, that's something.
Well, no, I have two
I
good
tried to help
news.
you.
I got two.
Oh,
The
yeah.
next one is for the three board members that are going to OSBA. Pepper and Wagner is having a cocktail reception on November 17th from 6 to 9.
What's the location? Location?
Location is at
Is it the museum?
the Hilton Columbus
Oh,
downtown.
you changed it.
It's connected to the convention center. November's chef-inspired hors d'oeuvres, craft cocktails, and local.
We were there last year, I think that's where it
That
was.
was it last year?
Right, it was at the
Emily's
hotel.
saying
The
yes.
hotel.
She works for Pepper and Wagner.
Yeah,
So,
they
They
were,
were wonderful hors d'oeuvres.
the
So,
hors d'oeuvres were
I
really
will
wonderful.
give the count of
Remember, Brian?
3
There you go.
for the district. I will give the count of 3 to turn that back in. They're asking that I
I'm
RSVP.
sending you.
How are you
I
at
will
church?
do.
Ask.
I will tell them 3 as our RSVP,
Mhm.
okay?
And usually they send the RSVP to us as individuals. Usually.
I'm so sorry,
Can you
this
send
came to
feedback?
me. So.
Uh-huh.
don't know.
I mean, it's, hey, but
Well,
it's a different kind of year. A lot of things are changing.
Okay.
right, they'll get the information from us and you all
Sounds
will be
good.
wonderful.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
And the last thing I have, a letter that, well, I was aware of it by email, Dr. Pettigrew received a letter from Cuyahoga County for the real estate assessment funds from Cuyahoga County to our local taxing authority. We pay all of these fees every year for all of our taxes and the assessments and everything from the county. the county this year is refunding our district, each district is different. Our district will receive $116,765.28.
All right.
So I need to get out of here on that good note.
All
Why are
right.
they
That is,
refunding?
pays half of our
Because
overhead.
they're just I am pleased to share our return of excess real estate assessment funds from
Okay.
Cuyahoga County to
Okay,
our local taxing authority.
fantastic.
If you go on cleveland.com,
I
it's,
got it.
they,
Yeah.
the store they give everybody. We
Yeah,
toward,
everybody,
we toward
everybody.
the bottom of
gets
that
those.
list, I don't like that, but
We
we
was
are
on
getting
there.
something back.
So,
Better than nothing.
hundred
Some folks
sixteen
get
thousand,
millions back.
and
Cleveland.com has an article on it.
Yeah, Cleveland, it's on cleveland.com.
Cleveland.
Madam President, that is all I have for discussion.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
The only other thing we have, is, new business and next regular meeting. I don't- Yeah, well, and I always, since, we're gonna have the executive session at the end, I can ask each board member if they have any comments that they wanna share with the audience before we have the audience participation.
No.
I always begin with you. No,
None but congratulations to you. You're going all over the place talking about how we have improved. I see you on Facebook for more.
I have to,
Congratulations.
I have to make sure people
Yeah,
know
Channel
what's going on in East
19,
But
Cleveland.
I've shared it with.
Continue your goodwill on.
Ms. Sanders, any comments?
No, I've been
Okay.
hearing a lot of commercials too on TV.
We
Yeah.
trying.
I was like,
Y'all
wow.
approved that stuff, we tried.
Yay.
Yeah,
I heard the radio, but I
Yeah.
never had heard so much from the television commercials.
And other
But that's a
districts
good
are
thing.
copying them. We're
Oh,
starting to see
wow.
others. They weren't doing it before we did it, now we're seeing key people trying to keep up, so we trailblazing.
That's a good thing.
you have another comment?
Oh,
Well, let's have Ms. Fountain's comments, then we'll have your comment.
Okay.
And then I have several things I
you
have.
want me to finish?
I'm gonna have Ms. Fountain, then I'll take you, and then
She
I'll
said
be
she's
last.
fine.
Mhm.
Okay, no comments from Ms. Fountain, so we'll take your comments.
The last thing I had, the board didn't respond collectively about Mr. Wilson for the library board.
That date was
Yeah.
kind of sketchy to me because it
Yeah,
said
what-
Monday, October 8th.
There
Did
wasn't
I
a
read
date.
that right?
Mm-mm.
It said on Monday. Maybe I was moving too fast, but I thought it said Monday, October 8th.
No, all I
So I
did
thought it
was
was
send
an
the
error.
information and I asked the board how you wanted me to move forward. That's all I did. I
Okay.
sent the information and said
Well,
how.
I'll go with next board meeting.
Well, that's one of the things I'm gonna be talking about as well. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure that I
Thank
get
you.
some direction on that one.
Thank you very much for, reporting on that. A couple things about the library trustee. We only had one person to, send in anything. And I know it's on the, library's website, et cetera, and there's two, trustees that have passed out a lot of literature regarding that, trustee, and he's the only one that has responded. But I don't know him, I've seen him. He's the only one that has been going to library board meetings, so he's really interested. In my opinion, I'm giving my opinion, and we can kind of just see what we want to do. I am thinking, if you are amenable, rather than set aside a day where we do a bunch of interviews, why don't we just have at our work session meeting, have him come in, and we can ask the questions then, the same questions that we always ask library trustees. And if we decide that he passed the questions that we asked, then we can just go ahead and put him on. Remember, if we don't move on this, the courts will move on it for us. We don't want that to happen again. That happened, I think, 4 years ago, and we certainly don't want that to happen. So are you in agreement, yes or no, or you want more discussion on it?
Absolutely. Great idea.
Okay, anyone else? Okay.
So the meeting is at 5:00. What time would you like for him to be here, please?
What time? You want it before the meeting or after the meeting?
We don't know what we're discussing. You can be before.
Okay,
So I will-
before, I have one vote from before, anybody else?
Before.
So 4:30,
Mm-hmm,
half an hour,
that's good.
Oh, we're
4:30
saying
is
4:30.
4:30?
Okay, so
Cause our meeting starts at 5, so that gives us a half an hour to interview him.
that would be a separate meeting because that's for the interviewing of that.
Yeah,
And then you'll have your special meeting at 5 o'clock
right.
for the board.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for agreeing. That was the easiest way I could think of to do. And like I said, I really don't know him, but he seems in the last meeting where I saw him, he seemed to be a nice, energetic young man for the library
No, what's the
trustee.
school name?
What's his name?
Michael Wilson,
Oh,
Michael Wilson.
I did send his a letter of intent to all, Michael Wilson, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Michael Wilson, and I did send his letter of intent to all of the board
Yeah.
members. I think it was like the 2nd or the 3rd of October. I did send
Okay.
it.
And I also sent Ms. Witt some additional information when I sent it. The library board trustees usually is a 7-year commitment. But the laws, they've gotten the law changed so that now it's a 5-year commitment. I sent that to you. It's no longer 7, it's 5. And so therefore, the letters and what have you, we always keep track of the trustees, their dates of coming on board and their dates of leaving. So just, and I tell you what I'll make sure that I do, when I get home this evening, I'll send you guys a copy of that state law that has changed to the 5 so that everybody will have that, if that's okay? And
Question for you, Dr. Rice, does that mean those who are on for 7 are grandfathered until they're off and then the new
And
ones coming in
you
at
know, one
5?
come off each year, so next year in October, that person who had 7 years will now be, if they go for another term, it'll be
It will
5.
be 5,
They can
okay.
only have 2 7-year terms. So, it's a lot of variables there.
Okay.
The only other thing, we have one person who is on that board who is involved in a lot of stuff, who is just such a dynamic person. I'm hoping that person will stay there, stay the course. But when you get people who are like shooting stars, you never know. Okay, the last thing that I have, how many of you know what the Crown Act is? Anyone? Crown Act?
No idea.
Dr. Pettigrew says he
Yes,
knows what
I
the
know
Crown
what it
Act is. That is going before the legislature. Now, the Crown Act is House Bill 415.
Yep.
I was asked to give testimony for the Crown Act when it was House Bill 178. I think that was like 2 years ago. And now, I gave testimony, I think 2 years ago. Anyway, I was asked that it has now changed to House Bill 415. I was asked to give testimony again, and how I felt that the Crown Act, this natural hair, however we choose to wear that hair, for those who are minority students. And they have been discriminated in some schools and some school systems, and even in some of the private schools, et cetera, et cetera. So they're trying to make it across the board, regardless as to the type of school that it is, that you not discriminate between about hairstyles of those who are ethnic. So, at any rate, if anyone, I only brought one copy of my testimony, but if anyone wants to see it, please, I'll be more than happy to share it with you.
If I can give you a little bit more information. House Bill 415.
Mhm.
Right now, it's in the Housing Education Committee. It's the first hearing. It has to make it out of the House. Then it has to the Senate has to do something with it too. So we're early in the process, which I'm glad Dr. Rice is jumping in now, trying to make sure. But it prohibits K-12 from discriminating against anybody in terms of hairstyles, braids, locks, twists. And it allows the student who says that the district violated them to sue the district in court. which is the bigger part, is that if the student says they were discriminated because of their hair, they're gonna now start bringing suit against boards of education. So that's just something we need to be aware of. So I'm glad you brought this to our attention.
This, one of the, Huron or something like that, part of Ohio, I think that was one of the major school districts that, really caused the problem. I don't quote me on that, but I know it's southern part of Ohio. So, even though we don't have that kind of problem here at our school district, the Crown Act needed support, and so that's why they contacted me and asked me would I support that, so I did. So, that's all I have. Now, questions, or if the board has no additional questions or comments, the audience, anything you have before we go into executive session?
So we get,
We would
there's a
love-
procedure, there's a procedure. Dr.
Right, if,
Diana.
for who
Do we
would
have a
want to address the board, the sheet is right here, that they fill out, and then they would get 3 minutes to
Yeah,
address the board.
We can wait for you to fill out the form.
Well, I can get your information if you go up, just give me your name and,
Yeah, I just had a question based
I
on.
think we know you too, so.
I just had a question based on
Come on
something
up.
that was said during the meeting, so I wasn't planning to
that,
give a
then,
speech or anything.
if it's a question regarding
Tell us who you are.
the
and
meeting.
We'd love to know.
Merle
Those of us who
Johnson,
don't know.
Yeah, I know
former
it.
State Board of Education member for 8 years. East Cleveland was one of my districts. But I just had a question about the release time for religious instruction. I wanted to hear about details about that. What kind of religious instruction is being provided? Are students missing class? Is that during school day? So I was curious about that. That was my question.
That was one of the policy areas that was read for by education. Dr. Pettigrew, do you have additional information? If not, we can see that you get it.
Yeah, I think we can see that she gets it. I don't have the hard
Dr.
numbers on.
Pettigrew will take
The
it.
I was
number of
very much
students that are
involved in
being
fighting
impacted.
against that, and I wanted to see,
Yeah.
what you're being forced to do, so.
Yeah,
I
we'll give you some information directly about that,
Okay,
because you're compiling that information. So
Okay.
we definitely will be a part of that conversation that you're having.
okay. That was my question. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you for
Thank you.
bringing
It's
it.
so good to see that you have not forgotten about us.
Oh, never.
Thank you so much for coming. Anyone else in the audience that would like to address the Board of Education? Hearing no one else, we still have some business. I'm gonna ask if you wanna wait till I end, please go step next door. You're welcome to wait there for us. And if you choose not to wait, blessings to you. Have a great evening.
And a safe Halloween if you're going trick or treating.
We'll be back here before